me set this real quick. All right. Okay. Let me get me all back up in the mount right here. I was trying to set this live off and on all morning. Oop, let me kill this TV here. I was trying to set this live off and on. I don't know if it was showing that it was going to go live at a certain time, but it looked like it showed that I was already live. That's why I put in the chat thing that it was going to go at like noon. Let me open up my other. All right. Now, let me get y'all situated here. Hold on, that's not what we're trying to. There we go. Right one. Had to get into the right one, y'all. Alright, move stuff over here out of the way and get this set up. Well, what happened? There. Alright, let's do this again. This is some wood that I got from Miss Francis. I'm going to do another combination, roach clip and a dab spoon like I did yesterday, but I went ahead and separated the two so it would turn a lot easier, because that piece I was doing yesterday, I was getting a lot of chatter towards the end when it was getting thinner, and I was afraid it was going to bust on me. So I think this route right here is going to be a lot better. I don't know the species of the wood. It's a dark wood, so I'm thinking it might be a walnut or something maybe. But we're going to turn it and see what kind of colors we can get out of it. All this is wax. They put wax on them whenever they cut them to keep them from drying out so fast and splitting. So we're going to go through there and see what we can get. Checking my dust mask for creepy crawlers right now. Hey, Miss June, waiting on that mailman to run envelopes in the mailbox. And I'm waiting on, who is it? Amazon to deliver. I should be getting my pin mandrel kit today. I won't have any kits to turn any pins yet, but I'll have the majority of what I need. I just need to get some spacers and the bushings for the kits, and then the actual kits. I gotta order the bushing for those lip balm sets that I got from Miss Francis, and then I'll make some of those too. That's gonna be kind of interesting. Hey, Robert, you're sitting in the world. Heck yeah. Alright, well, I'm going to get with it. I'm going to quit all the babble and start turning. Turn on my dust collector and all the noisemakers. Alright, y'all, enjoy. It won't be long. I'll try to have that OBS set up with my music going. I've been trying to create a playlist for that today. And so, yeah, tonight I'm going to go through and see if I can't set that up. Alright, here we go. Hit that like, give me some comments, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Here we go. How about this one? Grumpy's goopy, but I had the vacuum cleaner going, but my daggum hose was over there on my bandsaw. It wasn't on the lathe. All right, let's try this again. You gotta love it. goodness, is that my motor? No? Okay. That was making a different pitch than it normally makes. I guess it's just a tone coming through the wood. That's got some cool green to it. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna just assume that it might be walnut, but I honestly do not know. But let's see. It's looking pretty cool though. Alright, Robert, be careful. Oh, thank you everybody for tuning in. Please hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I drop a video every Wednesday. This is going to be a roach clip dab spoon combination. Let me see. Anybody just now tuning in, this is what I do. I spin roach clips. This is one of the roach clips I did. And then this is a dab spoon. It's out of the same wood. And again, this wood was gifted to me, so I'm not sure the species of this one as well. But it was a blank, just like this one. And but I didn't cut this one down. I spun this one whole, and I had issues with it, so I've chopped them down to do individual pieces today. But that's what I do, and thank y'all so much for tuning in. Alright, I'm gonna put my dust mask back on and get with it. I finally got it knocked down round. I'm gonna tighten it back up. I'll probably come right down here somewhere. I gotta give myself a little bit of meat right here, so when I start adding pressure, it's not gonna split where I'm like, if I've start cutting it too thin down here, it's gonna split on me in the same way up here. So I'll leave a little knot on each end, then work my stick down in the middle. All right, let me mask back up and get back at it. Here come the noisemakers, y'all. Thank you for tuning in again. Hey, hey, Jonathan. Start taking it down. I just don't like my heart. Something ain't ready. That's gonna look good. And turn the noisemaker off for a minute. My daggum neighbor's dog is raising cane. I can hear him over the vacuum cleaner. His little goofy butt likes to get out and run, so when they let him outside, they have to put him on a cable. He will jump the fence, he will push his way out, he will do everything. He just wants to run. So he lets everybody know when he's out there on that cable. Yes, drop our links. If I don't have somebody, let's see. What am I, did I miss something? Oh, hold on a minute. Come on. Oh, goodness. I gotta take a little break, get off my feet for just a few seconds. A little bit of medication. This is gonna be a dab spoon holder. That's fall colors, I guess. I let my wife pick out the colors the other day, and I did that. Got to give that a little bit longer to cure. Let's see, where's my powders at? Let's see, I put those three colors, or that's the three colors my wife picked, and then I put some UV glow orange in there, but most of it's right there. But we'll have to see how it goes once I turn it. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe. Leave me some comments. Again, not sure on the wood, but it's got some nice color to it. I'm fixing to go with the shape I got. I'm going to sand it down, get it good and smooth, make sure I don't have any more tool marks. I'm probably going to split it down and do like 3 little lines down here on the end. And then, where did I put my other piece? Okay. And then this is another piece of it. And I'm going to do something probably similar. I'll try to get something similar to the bottom of it, you know, a little bit smaller, but the same shape right there. And then cone it up right there to put the spoon on the end. Alright, y'all, I'm going to mask back up and get back at it. Hope everybody's having an awesome Friday. Ain't that what we are? Yeah, we're at Friday. Yep. I hope everybody's Friday is just awesome. Alright, here we go. Let's do a epoxy. Where's my Alright, I'm gonna do a little 150. I wish I knew what it was. This was, like I said, this was a gift from Miss Francis, and I'm not sure the species. I'm wanting to say it might be walnut, but I really don't know. be something we need to upgrade here would be our oven and stove. We've been here a little over 20 years, and it's the original one when we moved in. Everything works awesome on it still, no problems. It's one of the flat top little glass stoves and oven deal, but the display to see the temperature and stuff for the oven, you have to turn the lights out and then pretty much count in fives once you get to a certain point. But yeah, we've gotten used to it like that. But oh yeah, this is all wood on this one. I need to go ahead and get my lines in the end there. Yeah, that's gonna look good once I go through all the grit. Hey, Miss Daisy, thank you for coming by. That's what this one's gonna look like. I'm gonna put some little lines down there. Y'all gotta go check Miss Daisy's channel out. It's pretty cool over there. I think I've already turned this tip, I'm not sure. It is starting to grow on me almost as a complete clip like that. Should I leave that on there or go ahead and take it off at that right there? You know, nub it off right there or leave that. If I leave that, I can come through and taper that in to where it runs sharp into that. But it almost looked like it was going to be too long, but then it almost looks right like that. What to do? I don't know what I want to do. Hey, old pal. I don't know if I want to leave that in there or just nub it off right here. Because let's see. My original plan was to make the clip from here to right there. But the more I look at it, I'm starting to like that look right there. But it's just not, it's not flowing with the rest of it. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, the grain's awesome. Excuse me, y'all. I had to get a little more coffee. I think I'm just going to go with the original plan and nub it off right there. But yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. And then when I do this, I'll try to get this same taper right here. And then I'll bring it, let's see. The last one tapered slow. I'll bring this one to a sharper point, but on this piece, and just, the smaller version for the spoon. All right, yep, there we go. Let me get back at it. All right, thank you for tuning in, everybody. Hey, Zed, thank you for coming by. I hope you're doing good today, buddy. I gotta be careful down here. Hey, Josh. I hope your Friday's going good. All right. We'll leave that and I'll cut it there. Hiding from work. Say it's Friday, just take it easy until time to go. Alright, get back to sanding on it now. Gonna jump to 240. I'm stopping it. $320.
Hey Matthew. Hey Kat. That's awesome. Thank you everybody for coming through. Please hit that like. $400. $600. Getting a clean piece of 1,000 and 1,200 and 1,500.
Alright, I'm getting a clean piece of 1,000 grit, 1,200 grit, and 1,500.
Woo! Take it away, dear. Alright, 1,200. 1500.
Ooh, take this mask off for a minute. There we go. All right, thank y'all for tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe and all that goodness. Okay, I'm fixing to put a little bit of Yorkshire polish on there, and we'll watch that grain come jumping out then. I say it every video, this is like the most favorite stuff in the world. I love it, I love it, I love it. Was it like that Frank's Red Hot, put that shit on everything? I put this stuff on everything. Alright, turn it down some, my lace, so I don't sling it everywhere. Oh, this didn't darken up too much. It's darkening up some now, but thought it was going to get a little darker. It's going to look good though. Oh, this is going to look so good. I can tell right now without even turning it off. This is going to be a pretty piece. Trying to start to wipe up that excess polish off of it now. I seen them little babies. And I said we got to get you some cameras set up over there and get your channel going next. I'm talking to Hedrick Homegrown Aquatics right now. He's got some Neocaridina Bloody Mary shrimp, little freshwater aquarium shrimp. It's got all kind of cool little shrimp, guppies, and some awesome stuff like that. We got to get him set up with some cameras and get him a YouTube channel going. I think we can set him up with one of them AMSR channels and have just the bubbling sound of the tank and have one of your tanks live streaming 24/7. I'm telling you. You get more views than I ever thought of getting. If Grumpy's ever gets big, Hedrick's is gonna be my cameraman. Or if Hedrick's ever gets big, Grumpy's gonna be his editing man. I'll help you figure it out. I'm still learning it too, but it's fun. Alright, I'm going to turn this up and get the rest of the polish off of here, and we'll see how good this one looks. This one's gonna be awesome. I can already tell. Nice. I like that. Oh man, that looks awesome. I do not know that wood. I'm still gonna assume that it might be maybe black walnut or walnut. I don't know. I'm gonna get me a good picture and ask Steve over there at My Honey Handmade. He does a lot of walnut and everything. He might know. I don't know, but I know that looks awesome. We'll take the pressure off of there. Here we go. Get y'all a better roll of that. That grain is just beautiful. Again, this is a piece that Miss Frances gifted me. She sent me a small box of goodies and it had a few wooden blanks in there. I have another blank that's about that long. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm not sure if I want to do the clip spoon combo or if I want to save it for a pin. But the other blank I'm pretty sure is bird's eye maple, and that's gonna be gorgeous turned down. So I'm not sure if I want to roach clip it or save it for a pin. Looks like I could have sanded better right in there. But I have my mandrel set coming today to start to being able to do pins. I can't wait for that. All right, y'all, let's put this other piece on here. Enough babble. Yeah, get this thing going. That turned out nice though. I really like that. Alright, I have my vacuum cleaner. Y'all could probably see these little mini bungee cords. I have my vacuum cleaners, one of the little adapters, suction adapters, bungee corded to the side of the lathe. So I have to move those cords every now and then because they get in the way of my tool rest and my tailstock sliding around. And I thought about putting some self-tapping screws in here to hold this in place. I got a little bit longer one and I'd put it in right there, but I have to make sure. I think it'll be okay. I had to make sure it wasn't gonna, the hardware for this and this wouldn't hit the screws, because then yeah, my lathe's got to work. I'll clean up the dust. That's not too bad. Hey Jim, I hope everybody's day's doing awesome. It's Friday. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. There's a little B piece. The wood's pretty tough though, so that's gonna be good. I should be able to get some good pressure to it, leave the bottom right here as the base, and it shouldn't split. So that'll give me enough room. I'll knock it down round, and I'll try to mimic the shape of this a little bit. I won't be able to get all that in there. I mean, I could if I played it right. It's just gonna make it thinner, I think, and I want the piece to have some thickness to it so it's stable. You know, I want it to be able to stand up on its own. Let's see. I don't see the other one. Well, yeah, here we go. Like, this is the one I made earlier, so it's got some thickness to it. That way, you know, when you stand it up, it'll sit flat like that. If I get it too skinny in there, then the clip will make it top heavy and it'll want to flop over, and I don't want that bad. But all right, here we go. Oh, and Jim, if you didn't see what we got going earlier, this is what I turned. This is the another piece off of the same blank, and I'm gonna do the dab spoon out of that, and this will be a roach clip. But all right, let me get back at it. Oh, put my mask back on. Gotta wear that dust mask, y'all. And And I'm telling y'all, it's funny trying to watch me get this daggum beard going up in this mask and get it up over my chin. Alright, here we go.
Have a good day, EW. Yes, that's I just don't got the patience and I need to go slow. I don't want to go slow right now. Thank you for coming by and have a good day. getting there. Yeah, the spot right there still. But it's about round.
It's about round. There's a little bit of wax on it left right there. That'll turn out once I start shaping it. Alright, I'm going to put this back here. That's the one I just did. I'll set it back there kind of like an eyeball of what I want to do. I want to make like a mini version of that, but a little bit thicker. So I'm going to try to get it to come out like that, but we'll see. Alright, let me get back at it. Y'all have an awesome day, I hope. A little bit of coffee. I want to hurry up and get this knocked out and shaped up. That way I can drill it real quick, and I'll tie the clip on that and insert the spoon for this one, and we'll call it done. But alright, I'm going to get back at it. Thank you for tuning in so much. Please hit that like, subscribe, and throw me some comments. I greatly appreciate it. this is like what gets me, because if I try to replicate something, it ain't happening. But if I just go at it most of the time, not thinking about it, it comes out cool. But I want to kind of replicate that shape that we did on the clip, but I want it just tiny, so it'll be like a almost. Let's see, I'm getting all muffled. It'll be almost like a little caricature of the clip, but in a spoon shape. So this is. I'll try to give it a little, like how my clips has got a little point. I'll try to give it a little nub, say from here to like maybe there's a nub, and then like maybe that little bevel, that, let's see, oops, sorry y'all, hit the camera. Like right here be this part, like, let's see, maybe there, and then let's say one here. Yeah, your razor don't work. It's gonna have to be at that first start. Right there. Swoop that out. And then swoop that out. Throw it in there. Alright. Let me see if I can understand that now. Oh. When it's about time for me to change out my tips, this one's got a couple of nicks in it, and then my round one's got a couple of flat spots. The triangle, that one I can still sharpen, but these two, it's time to put them up. I got some more though. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna try. I gotta pop up while I do this. Get off my back.
I've been hitting that big old head. Ah. Alright, we still in there. I better hit that joint 2 more times. Oh, is it? Okay. think I'm happy with it. Move stuff out of the way and I'll sand that down. Alright, gonna do some 150. Hey, Billy. I'm trying to mimic the shape of this to a degree, but smaller for the dab spoon so it'll match up. Alright, there's a 150 over 240. Ooh, I'm ready to sit down. Almost there. Hey, Ray. Ooh, that got hot. $400. Ooh, hot. There's the 600 there. That's pretty apart. Uh-oh, this 600. Okay, that's 15, 12, where's my first dog? There we go, right there. 1,000. Yeah. 1200. $1,500. Ooh, I'll turn that off now. I don't like a dust mask, but I like to be able to breathe at night too. So, yeah. Alright, this is my Yorkshire polish and paste, whatever, going on there. I call it polish, but it's just abrasive paste. I'm using it on the wood because it's got the beeswax and the mineral oil, and it darkens that grain up a little bit. Uh-oh. My alarm just went off. My lathe stuff might be here. That'd be too cool. Can't do nothing with it yet. I gotta get some kits and some bushings. I got a couple of kits, but I don't have the bushings for them. And then I'm gonna order a couple of pin kits that come with the bushings. That way it can help stock me up as I go. But I can't wait to start turning some pins. That's probably what she's barking at now. Amazon dropping that off. One thing with this paste is when you get around the tool, you see how it's rubbing that metal? Got to be careful and don't carry that back onto your wood, especially if it's a lighter colored wood, because that's so fine it might push it into some of the grain. I'm gonna get one more little bit of that. Do that one more time and we'll take it all off. What is she barking at? Y'all give me just 1 second. It's got to be a cat or something. A cat or the mailman just ran, because there's nothing on the front porch. My son's fixing to go check the mail. He's just going to sit there and let her yell at her. Or as I put her yell at him. Our dog, she is big. She is vocal. It's like the most vocal and back-talkingest animal I've ever had. I go in there and start getting on to her about something, and she'll start barking back at me, and she thinks it's a game. And like I said, she's just got a loud bark. She's a
Labrador Pit Bull Blue Heeler mix. You ever watch that cartoon with Bruce Willis in there over the hedge? Got the raccoon trying to get all the animals to stitch stuff for the bear. We've seen it a million times because of the grandkids. But she reminds me of that dog that's chained up in that movie. She has no self-preservation when it comes to playing. She will hurt herself to get her toys. I mean, she's just a nut. Alright, y'all, here we go. I'm gonna shut her down. It's gonna be pretty. Made you look. I gotta wipe my hands off first. Alright, here we go. Teased enough. Yes, I love that movie. Anything with Bruce Willis in it's good, but that movie has a lot of awesome actors. Oh, look at this. This is just, I love it. I might not get rid of this clip. That might be my new favorite. I love my epoxy stuff, but out of the wood grain, I love cedar and everything, but this wood, I just love how it almost acts like a cedar, but it's not. Just with all the colors and stuff in it. That's awesome, yo. All right, let's see. I gotta back the tailstock off just a little bit. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to drill in right down there and put the spoon in there, and I'll take my UV epoxy and I'll try to get just in the top and leave like a little bubble to where I don't want it to bleed in. I don't know, I'm funny that way. I'll try to get it to look just right. Take some of that off. That's some of that metal that I was talking about, or it might be the green. But that's beautiful. I love that. Didn't quite match, but I mean, for the little stubby effect of it, it's pretty close. But, yeah, I'm going to put the metal dab spoon in there, and I'll cut it off there and cut it off there. Alright, y'all, give me just a second. I'll put y'all in the box, or let me lob that off, and I'll put y'all in the box and get with it. That is perfect. Alright, we got to move the vacuum hose over here. I've been a busy bee. My box is a mess. Oh. I got roach clips scattered all over the place, from almost done to still need to polish, and all kind of mess. Alright. Oh, let me drill. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all moved over into the box. Close your eyes, don't get seasick. Oh, goodness. Don't hit the stop button. Alright, let's shrink y'all back down. Hang on, it's the turbulence. You hear the grand pug in there? She don't have an off button either. She's got that only child syndrome, so if any of the other dogs get attention, she goes to going crazy. We watched the grand pug through the week, so my daughter don't have to put her in the kennel. Alright, let me drill the base right here real fast and we'll be back at it. Already set up, I just got to turn it on and go. and I finally get to sit down. I think that's what I look forward to the most. Alright, here's my dab spoon deal. I bought a whole box of these bulk off of Amazon, like 200 and something. Now that's too long, and instead of drilling my hole so deep and take the chances of it getting crooked, I'll go so far and then kind of mark how deep it's going in, and then I'll take a pair of snips and snip some of it off, and then I'll try to push it in because it's got a flat spot in there. I'll try to push it in where that flat spot just starts to go into the clip, and I'll leave just a little bit of it out. Alright. Let me get gotta get Chad over here now. Let's see who's all in here still. Alright. Yeah, but it'll go something like that, just shorter. And wear eye protection when you do that, or cup that in, because that little piece goes flying. I got my glasses on. Yeah, see, that looks a lot better. I'll put it in there about like that. Alright, let's go ahead and get the dab spoon out of the way, y'all. Alright, this is just again when I bought the most bang and cheapest from a buck, and this is just cheap UV resin, but it works awesome. I use it, and whenever you see my sticks that's got any kind of UV, like the Lichtenberg sticks, when I fill them up with epoxy, this is what I use. I'll squirt some of this into a little paint dish and add my mica powder and glow pigment to it and mix it up. I'm trying to get the air bubbles out because I don't want an air bubble to drop onto the end of it. There we go. I do it just right. It'll actually, no, it's gonna prove me wrong. The one yesterday, as soon as I dropped it on there, it kind of took it in there like a straw. I want some resin down in there, and then a little bit at the top, and then when I put the metal piece into it, it'll push some more resin down. But I can't fill it up with too much resin because the UV light's not going to get down in there good. Ooh, I do not want it to run down. I want it to run down the hole, but not down the stick. There we go. That was a good save. And that's enough right there. I don't want no more on there. I try to get it domed up or any better, I'll end up glooping it down the side, and I don't want to do that. But that's my little UV light right here. I have one of those little, it came with now the one I'm holding, I had to order it separate. I ordered this one just to charge and carry to the dispensaries with me so I could show off the sticks when I'm in the dispensary. But I have one of these little deals. One of my lights quit working, but it works good because my sticks aren't that big, so I can set them right over my stick when I'm trying to cure something. But this will work right here. And this the hole's not quite, I mean, the hole's center, but when I put the it's a little, the hole is a little bit bigger than the dab spoon's metal, so it kind of flops around in there. So when I sealed it up, I wasn't holding it straight up and down. So what I'll do is just barely tweak it back, and it'll have that, it'll be straight. That's what I'm doing now with my fingers, trying to bend it because it's not off by much. There you go. Alright, that should be cured. And with the light hitting it like that, it should travel down it like a fiber optic and get what resin's in there. And it don't take long for this one to cure it up. Alright, boom. There's done. Dab spin. Whoops. Dab spin. Somebody could use that right now. It's a done deal. Pow. Now, after the video, I'll go back because I didn't sand this flush so you can see where I was grabbing it with the lathe. I'll put just a drop of resin down in there and kind of wipe it off. And, well, I put a small enough drop in there, it'll leave a little divot, but it won't be a hole. Yeah, that's just me. I gotta seal it up so there won't be no opens. Alright, now we're gonna put the roach clip on this one. And then I will get out of here and let y'all go. And if y'all got stuff to do, by all means, bounce. Go. You don't have to stay. I know I've been on for a hot minute, but I do appreciate the support. And hit that like button if you haven't already. Alright, this is my clip. I'm going to waller the hole out. Kind of open it up right there some. Oh, where is my pigtail puller? Okay. Like I said, I got so much stuff going on right now. Here's, let's see. This is one of those dowels that I did the burn on. I went over it with a little bit of wet sand and a little bit of that Yorkshire polish. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. Lop the ends off and leave it kind of natural and put the clip on. And then I put green in this one. So yeah, it'll glow green. The other ones has got blue, but I haven't finished them up yet. I haven't done any. This is the only one that I've gone back over and sanded and done anything to it. And that Yorkshire kind of toned the wood. After the baking soda water kind of stained it, the Yorkshire did that, and it gave it a pretty cool look. I like that dark color in there. But, yep. All right, babble. Let me get back to the clip. All right. A little fuzzy right there. Sand that off touch. Okay. Alright, y'all. See, I like the grains in this piece of wood. I wish I knew what it was. Right, remember, don't go He-Man on the end of it. You don't want to split that. And I imagine some hardwoods would be okay, but then I figure some might be even a little more, I know brittle ain't the word I'm looking for, but I mean, it could be in that case if it's a real hard wood. You squeeze on it, it could pop off on the grain right there if it's real tight grained or something. I don't know. I was just babbling. Oh, see, that's not getting pinched in there good. My fingers. I think I just got it a little too thick on the end. Oof. Don't need it. Grabbing a piece of that 320. Right here, the thread's gonna cover that, but I'm just trying to roll some of them little edges off where I was whittling that down. Now I should be able to. Get in there and grab that a little better. That is a hard wood, because it is not wanting to pinch that clip on there. That's good though. There we go. Alright. Alright. Do not go nowhere. 1, 2, 3. Alright, oh my bad, y'all. Come out of camera. Get that started right there. You wrap around a few times, it'll start holding itself down. Then you can let your finger off of that. But you got to get a few good wraps. And then just as you go down, that little tail you're holding down is trying to fuzz up on you right there. You can guide that string and just slowly pinch it down. And then once you wrap down and back up again, it'll wrap over any fuzz. And so it'll be a clean wrap. All right, you hear it click and I'm jumping off the clip onto the wood. So now I'll wrap on down the wood. And I'll go down a little bit and then I'll work my way back up. And it'll build the thickness up to where it'll be about the same thickness as the clip. Alright, work my way back up now. Getting there. Work my way back to the top, and then I'll put the pigtail puller on there and wrap my way back down to cover the puller, and then back to the top again, and then that'll be time to pull it. I got to figure out a routine and a rhythm. I need to make a bunch of clips and keep making a bunch of clips. If everything goes the way I want it to go, I don't have time to slow down. I want to do a couple of these events that they have going. And I know I'm not going to sell out, but I want to have high hopes and just make sure I have plenty of inventory or stock or whatever you want to call it. So I have been busy on making these clips. It's whooping me. I'm falling behind on all my videos, and then just daggone, I'm sore. Alright, I'm working my way back up to the top, covering that puller up real good, keeping everything nice and tight. You don't let go of that tension in that black line until you have that puller pulled back through. Alright, everything will unspool. Alright. I'm holding that black line with my thumb, and now I gotta unwrap my puller. It wraps up with you as you go. Nothing but a thing, it's part of it. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in to watch. I greatly appreciate the support. All I have left to do with this one is pull it through and add some glue, and they're done. Alright, I wrapped that real tight around my finger because I'm fixing to let go right there, but I'm pulling it tight so it still has its tension. Oh, that's tight. Alright, now I need my chopping block. I'll set that right there. Alright, that's your wrap. don't cut that longer than your wrap. You want that short. I know it's tight, so I need to choke up on it with a pencil. And then pull it through, and there's no lines, no nothing sticking out if you cut it short enough. And that is there. We're going to take and run the super glue on there, and then that's done. Let me grab me a little piece of a paper towel, just in case we have an accident. And my toothpick. Thank you, Billy. And then here I put enough glue on here for it to kind of soak into the threads, and then it's going to try to drip off on the bottom, and I just use the toothpick to catch the drip so it don't fall off, and then just walk that around the threads that don't have any glue on it yet. I want it all saturated just as much as I can get on there, because it'll soak through and help glue itself to the clip. It'll help the clip and the wood and all that bond up, and then it ain't going nowhere. Oh, too much. And then once it's all saturated, and like what I just did, I got too much glue on there, but once I know it's not soaking in anymore, I'll go through with a paper towel and get the excess off. Because yeah, it's still about to drip off right here. I do let it get up in there. It'll get in between that wood and the metal right there. Alright, that one's done. Almost time for me to get some more glue. And now I'm just going to go through, like I said, and I'm going to pull some of that excess off of there. It's already penetrated through and saturated all the threads, so this will just speed up the drying time. And then you don't want to hold it around and let the glue run back that way too far, because then you'll glue up your stuff right there and she won't work. Alright. There. Right there. Oh, super glued my thumb to the paper towel. Alright, well, that's a done deal. We got us a little matching roach clip and dab spoon combination. That there was courtesy to Miss Francis from Beadin' Crazy's Custom Creations. She sent me a little goodie box that had some blanks in there, and that right there, am I still in camera? I hope I am. That right there came out of it, and then this one right here came out of it. And again, I do not know the species of these two woods. I think, have you ever thought about heat shrink? Oh no, you don't want to do that. I know what you're talking about. Put heat shrink over that. No, when you clip your joint to the end right there, or your roach, whatever you want to call it, once it gets small, somebody's up there with a lighter. You know, you're holding a lighter to the end right there. That's kind of why I glue the threads down like that, just in case it gets too hot. If it snaps one of them, like burns one of them little threads, then the whole thing will come unspooled and come off. So I put the super glue on there like that, and it kind of protects the threads, you know. Okay, and then some people, when these are used real good, let me see. This is my personal. I've had this one for many years. I don't think I could do one this skinny like this anymore. I think I'm too heavy-handed now. But I did this years ago. And
But if you see, it gets kind of boogery right there. It just gets dirty when you're clipping your thing and burning. And then once they get like that, some people will take and heat them up with a lighter or a torch and scratch it all off. Or you know, some people won't soak them, but you can soak it in alcohol and do the same thing. But being that people burn them like that, you know, I'll glue it, because this is one I glued too. And I mean, but this thing, goodness gracious, this thing is heck, it's 15 years old easy. And the crazy thing is I did this one with that pocket knife right there. All that was done with a pocket knife. That was back before I started playing with my Dremel too much. But the ones I do now, I use a carbon knife and power carbon, and I get the same effect like that. They're just a little bit bigger. But let's see. That's what I got from Miss Francis. And then where is my box? All right, I just had it. Right here. It's at my feet. This is that last piece. This is what I'm thinking is bird's eye maple, because you can see all the little inclusions in there. And that's going to be an awesome piece right there, because it's thick right through here. So I think I'm going to separate it down here at the end like I did, and do a clip with this and then a spoon with this. Or I'm going to hold on to it, and I think it's big enough that if I do an ink pen, I might be able to do 2 pins out of it. Or I could do a pin and a clip, you know, if I do the right. I have to measure it out. And sugar maple. Yeah, see, I'm not sure. And I said I don't know. But I figured it was some kind of maple, and then I hear them talk about bird's eye maple, because you got the little knot spots all in there, and there's just so many spots through it, right through there, and then in this end. So it's going to be an interesting piece to turn, that is for sure. And then this is another little piece that I got from her. I'm not sure the species of that either, but it's dense. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I can do some spoons out of that, or I even thought about maybe a little snowman or two. Or, well, that would just be one. But good size for a Christmas ornament. But all right, y'all. Thank you so much for putting up with my crazy babble, and I hope y'all enjoyed the show and all that good stuff. But jump y'all out the mount. That's what Grandpa's roach clips. There's my pile of I'm in the work zone, and then there's another pile of in the work zone. And goodness gracious, I don't know if you've seen my actual collection of what I got done. Let's get in my nasty, messy shop here. This is my little box that I carry everything in. And then my lanyard right here, I wear that. That is heavy. That's a couple of pounds of roach clips. But let's see. Down in my box, those is what have made it off of my lanyard. I don't wear them on my lanyard much no more, but those are most of the wooden ones that I've done. And then I just have so many epoxy ones. There's some more. And then some wooden ones. And then a mixture of epoxy, wood, and cedar. And then I have a bunch of cedar ones that I've just finished. And then all the stuff that I've been doing on the lives here lately too. So yeah, trying to stack up for that event coming up. I think I got plenty going on, but I feel like I'm not going to have enough. But alright, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I hope everybody has an awesome weekend. Please be safe, and God bless everybody.